Morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I fell in love with Truman when he was just a sonogram.
I grew up with Truman, and sometimes when I'm watching the show, I can see him really looking at me.
Truman's life is as real as anyone else's life. It's merely slightly planned.
Green camp.
He's living a good life. He's got everything he needs. What more can you ask for? Granted, it may be sheltered, but it's a good life nonetheless.
All over the world, in every language and culture, Truman is the ultimate media star, uniting us all in history's greatest entertainment endeavor, The Truman Show.
Tonight, take an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at everyone's favorite TV series.
It's The Truman Show!
Yeah! Meet Truman's creator, Christoph.
We find many viewers leave him on all night for comfort.
Explore the world of hidden cameras.
This is the trash can cam, which I helped develop.
Talk candidly with Truman's co-stars.
I am the true victim of the show.
See the impact this incredible show has had on the world.
There's actually a shrine to me in Malaysia.
And examine the question on everyone's mind. Is Truman about to discover the truth?
I think I'm mixed up in something big.
That his entire 30 years of life have been broadcast to the world without him knowing it. Stay tuned for the tell-all, be-all source for The Truman Show. True Talk with Mike Michelson.
Are you sure this is Ohio?
It's Lucy's Road Trip.
It all began more than 30 years ago in the mind of Christoph, the visionary whose unique idea would revolutionize the face of television.
Christoph summoned studio executives to his office in Burbank, where he unveiled a plan to make The Truman Show a record of an entire human life, from birth to death, from cradle to grave. Every single moment broadcast live to the world.
We've become bored with watching actors give us phony emotions. We're tired of pyrotechnics and special effects. While the world he inhabits is, in some respects, counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself.
One of 5 unwanted pregnancies, Truman was chosen because he arrived right on cue on a predetermined air date. In the role of Truman's mother, Christoph cast the popular daytime actress Alanis Montclair.
Christoph said he could only think of me in the role because to him I was the embodiment of motherhood, which showed how little he knew me.
1.7 billion people were there for his birth. 220 countries tuned in for his first step. And as Truman grew, so did the success of the show. What started out as a small nursery ultimately expanded into the world's largest set, now known as Sea Haven.
So how did they do it? Well, 600 million gallons of synthetic salt water, sand imported from the Gobi Desert, and the sky? It's not a sky at all. It's a cyclorama made from a polymer fabric developed especially for the space program. That canopy encloses not only the ocean, but also a town of more than 400 structures that's lit by a matrix of over 800,000 halogen lamps of varying intensities, convincingly to create the movements of the sun, the moon, and the nighttime constellations.
Truman was a toddler during much of the construction period. He had to be kept under constant supervision to make sure he didn't see the enormous cranes used to erect the sky.
Truman! Truman! No! That's off limits!
Why? What's over there?
Nothing. It's dangerous, that's all.
After the set was constructed, Christoph began introducing new characters into Truman's young life. The first was a boy named Marlin.
We're here with Truman's best friend, Louis Coltrane, who plays the part of Marlin. The story has it that you auditioned for the show because your mom was a casting director?
Yeah, I actually didn't know that at the time. I was completely oblivious. My mother simply said to me, "You're going to go to a new school, and your name's going to be Marlin." And got to the school, and my mom said, that little boy over there, why don't you go over and be his friend?"
And of course, when you went over there to play with that kid, you said a very memorable line to him.
Yeah, well, he was in a sandbox, and he was playing with this little red fire truck, which I adored fire trucks, still do. And I walked up to him, and I said, "Give it to me." And he did. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it almost became a national catchphrase.
Yeah, it caught on a bit, you know. I wasn't aware of that at the time, but evidently school children all over the country were saying, give it to me. A lot of parents, I think, were probably unhappy that I was on TV at the time.
As Truman grew through his childhood and teenage years, the cast expanded. When it came time to introduce a special girl to Truman, Christoph took an unusual approach.
Let's talk about your initial casting on the show. How'd that all come about?
I was selected actually as one of, there were several of us. I think there were 5 or 6 of us. And we were introduced into the college environment where Truman was in hopes that he would select one of us.
Truman really didn't get a chance to choose. Meryl chose for him. She did so by elbowing me in the ribs.
I know that there were some resentments and some very mean accusations from some of the other girls, but I think love won out.
There's been some talk through the years that perhaps throwing yourself at him at the football pep rally had a little more to do with it.
I think that if you look at the reruns, I think you will notice that I tripped.
Oh! Ow! Whoa! Ow! Whoa! I'm so sorry to fall on you like that.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it.
I'm Meryl.
Hi, I'm Truman.
Along with Meryl and Marlon,
Hey, fellas.
Truman was surrounded by a masterful cast of supporting actors.
No, you first, please. I'm not that anxious to get there.
Coordinating Truman's expanding world was a daunting task, made all the more complex by the technical demands of the show.
Button cam 3.
So how do the producers bring Truman Show to life?
And now, going close.
It takes an army of crew members, hundreds of extras, and a skillful team of stunt drivers.
It's all real. Nothing here is fake. Nothing you see on this show is fake. It's merely controlled.
Everything from the weather to the nighttime constellations is controlled from the lunar room, high above the Sea Haven ecosphere, where Christoph monitors Truman's every move.
Go to the cabin cam. Cabin cam. Perfect. That's our hero shot.
More than 5,000 cameras are hidden in everyday objects, from rings to car radios, from pencil sharpeners to trash cans.
This is the trash can cam, which I helped develop. In fact, in the trade, it's sometimes called the Spencer cam. In the morning, when Truman comes out, we're positioned here. We dump some trash. Good morning, Truman.
Morning, Spencer.
We track Truman, keeping the lens on him as he gets in the car preparing to go to work. When the car leaves, we go up here and go to a wipe.
That necklace you're wearing, it is an heirloom, but it is also a camera, isn't it?
Yes, it was a gift from Truman, actually. It's been passed down from his family. And yes, there's a tiny, tiny camera. It's the, the famous necklace cam.
Something happened today?
What could happen?
And it can be ordered through the catalog. You can actually order it with your own birthstone.
These pens are microphones and cameras. The buttons, I can just scratch, get a nice close-up there. Wonderful, wonderful production studio over in Japan we have for miniaturization.
Good morning, Truman. Oh, look who's here.
I'm here with the 2 men who helped the Truman Show to run on time and on budget. Second Assistant Director Don and second Assistant Director Ron. Gentlemen, tell me, if you will, about the elevator incident.
Can I help? What's happened? Nothing. We're remodeling.
Well, that was an unfortunate incident. Truman was so unpredictable that he just slipped away from us for a moment.
Other production lapses include a radio mix-up in a recent episode.
He's making his turn onto Lancaster Square. Oh my God! You knew it would nail it. Something's wrong. Change frequency.
In another primetime gaffe, a star fell on Sea Haven. Skillful rewriting saved the day.
Here's a news flash just then. An aircraft in trouble began shedding parts as it flew over Sea Haven just a few moments ago.
Christoph, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
Sorry.
Split-second timing is required to anticipate Truman's every move.
Since Truman essentially drives the plot, it's a never-ending improvisation.
Hey, Truman! Sorry, can't stop!
The talented staff of prop people have a different challenge: to keep the set stocked with the latest consumer products. Did you ever wonder why Truman mows his lawn with a deluxe elk rotary?
I know what I'm doing, don't bother me.
Why Marlin drinks Penn Pavel's beer?
That is a beer.
And why Meryl uses a chef's pal?
So dicer, grater, peeler, all in one. Never need sharpening, dishwasher safe.
That's amazing.
It's called product placement, and Truman has no idea it's happening all around him.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
Who you talking to?
Since the Truman Show runs 24 hours a day with no commercial breaks, our main source of revenue is through product placement, and I am the designated show's spokesperson. I will help introduce different types of fashion, fragrances, appliances, cooking needs, housewares. This new Bon Nuit mattress is wonderful. Nothing that Meryl handles on this show has not been personally tried by me on a daily basis.
I've tasted other cocos. This is the best.
Everything on the show is for sale, from the actors' wardrobe, food products, to the very homes they live in.
There you are.
Hi. Sometimes we're asked to bring in new products. For example, this new cereal, Motion brand. The producer of this cereal is hoping this will become a new favorite of Truman's. So what I'll do is I'll come in and make sure I line it up perfectly, leaving enough space here for him to get his thumb in there and pull it out. First thing he can reach up and grab will be the Motion brand.
And now, a short quiz. 7 Truman products appear in this photo, submitted by some loyal fans in Japan. Can you name them? You have 5 seconds. Time's up. Did you find the Penn Pavel beer, the Truman Then and Now sweatshirt, Meryl's cotton poly pullover blouse, the Marlin golf slacks and 9-iron, the Kyoto Truman Burbank fan club scroll, and of course the Colony exercise tights? The world of product placement. It's just another part of the magic that makes The Truman Show the ultimate TV experience.
That one's for free.
Did you know that in the entire 30-year history of The Truman Show, Truman has only been off camera a total of 42 minutes? A mechanical fault in the 25th season accounts for most of that time.
Truman, where are we going?
I don't really know. I guess I'm being spontaneous. Somebody help me!
Everyone has a favorite Truman episode. One of the most popular was the wedding special, which forced the postponement of the presidential debates.
Happiest day of our lives.
Though I'm not officially a priest, I have been ordained by the Screen Actors Guild. And this couple took their vows more seriously than any on-air wedding I've ever presided over.
Let's talk for a moment about that famous crossed fingers wedding.
I know people are conjecturing that I was holding my fingers and that I was lying, and I am so deeply hurt by that. That was for good luck. I mean, that's wishing for luck, for love, for happiness. It's also an old Swedish tradition.
If I may, is the sex between you and Truman genuine, or are you just doing it for the money? Well, I understand that you are compensated for each sex act.
I didn't get a clearance for that question.
No, that was on the list. It was, there was a phone message on your machine last...
Stop the camera.
No,
Just get Christoph on the phone now. What was that?
So what is known of Christoph, the televisionary who created the show?
I can't let pass without comment all the rumors about regular blood transfusions, you sleeping in an all-white room, your actual age being allegedly 72. Could we put some of these to rest? Do you really bathe, for example, in goat's milk?
I'm here to shed light on the work, not myself.
Christoph is equally protective of certain aspects of Truman's life.
We've never placed a camera in the toilet or the shower, and we never will. We respect Truman's privacy in that regard.
Truthfully, Christoph is a brilliant man. Clearly, he created this whole thing and envisioned it all.
I have complicated feelings about Christoph. Let's just say, I've always tried to please him.
Christoph's influence is vast. It's much greater than you know. And I'll just leave it at that.
He scares me. I try and stay away from him as much as possible.
Give me some lightning. Again. Hit him again. You gotta remember something. This is what I do for a living. And you ask me questions, and I might be quoted, and I've got a good job.
Enough said, Department.
Christoph takes a lot of credit for a lot of things, And he's good ideas, but actually he's not a particularly good writer. He thinks he is. I came across a synopsis for an episode of me developing brain cancer. It was really ridiculous, and once again, it was Christoph in this somewhat Machiavellian sense. Well, you decide. It happened in the middle of my contract negotiation. But business is business. We settle on a benign tumor.
It's been reported that Christoph is, in fact, resentful of the enormous amount of money you've made off the show. I think ranking you as the third richest woman in the world, right behind the Queen of England and Oprah Winfrey.
Forgive me for correcting you, but I just eclipsed Her Majesty last month, and I think I'm going to give Oprah a run for her money as well.
Watch out, Oprah.
The Truman Show has indeed brought fame and fortune to its key players, but sometimes at the expense of their personal lives.
The Truman Show has been my whole life. It isn't a matter of it influencing my life. It is my life.
Lewis Coltrane detailed the personal toll in his best-selling autobiography, I, Marlin, available through the Truman catalog and now on audio cassette.
I got his whole brisket.
The story is that Christoph asked you to portray an alcoholic, and you went the rest of the way.
Well, I have to drink real alcohol on the show. I mean, Truman would know if it was just iced tea. Truman?
I know you've been seeing Dr. Ira Bogdanovich about this very issue. Without breaking any confidence, he told me that you were in deep trouble.
Deep trouble? He said that?
Yes, in strictest confidence.
I'm in a 12-step program now.
The cast endures a grueling routine of rehearsals, wardrobe fittings, and publicity appearances. Vacations are nearly impossible, since leaving and re-entering the dome is an ordeal involving strict security checks and the occasional strip search. Christoph insists on these rigid security measures to prevent unwanted intruders from penetrating the set.
How do you make sure that you don't have some wacko who's going to spill the beans to Truman?
Well, there's not a 100% guarantee that they won't. What we do is screen the subjects very well as best we can, keep a close eye on them.
We also do what they call a voice stress test, which is the same thing as the old polygraph test.
Really? I hope my voice doesn't sound like I'm under
You'll
stress.
be fine.
In the history of the series, Christoph's greatest challenge has been to keep Truman within the self-contained dome.
I like to be an explorer, like the Great Magellan.
Oh, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
I don't like the look of that weather, son.
Christoph's most effective way of keeping Truman in Sea Haven was instilling in him a fear of water.
Oh, Truman. You know you can't drive over water.
Let's go home where you'll feel safe.
Though Truman's wish to explore was kept in check, the occasional intruder from the outside world threatened to reveal the truth.
Truman! It's television! Yes!
In one recent incident, a daredevil skydiver parachuted into the town square in an attempt to contact Truman.
Oh, and, what are these?
Thankfully, a newsstand vendor provided a quick distraction. The skydiver was quickly bundled out of sight. He later sued, claiming security guards tried to strangle him with his own ripcord. And now another pop quiz. How many hidden cameras can you find in this panoramic view of Sea Haven's town square? You have 5 seconds. Time's up. There are 26 cameras, including Pluto's collar cam. With his life under constant scrutiny, some claim that Truman is the ultimate prisoner. A grassroots campaign recently formed to liberate Truman from the TV series.
Those letters that come in from the Free Truman people talking about Truman's rights, Truman's civil liberties. What about Marlin? What about my rights?
I'm a prisoner, and yet I have the financial means to do anything. I mean, I could buy the Ritz Hotel in Paris. I just couldn't go there.
I don't feel I'm deprived or there's something I don't have. I'm married to a wonderful man. I live in a beautiful home. There is no difference between a private life and a public life. My life is the Truman Show. The Truman Show is a lifestyle.
I made macaroni.
Does it bother you to have made this incredible fortune on the show and all Truman has is what's here on the set?
Oh, no. Truman is also compensated as well. I mean, Truman is by no means deprived of anything.
Wow. What is it? I envy Truman, his freedom, his lack of knowledge. People take care of Truman. Truman has everything he wants, everything he needs. He's got a wonderful life.
See you tomorrow, Truman.
Probably.
So what does the future hold for the world's most popular TV personality? As season 31 is about to commence, Christoph faces the greatest crisis in the history of the show.
I want to get away. See some of the world. Explore.
Where's there to go?
Fiji.
When would you like to leave?
Today.
But will Christoph and Truman's supporting cast conspire to keep him in Sea Haven?
I'm sorry, I don't have anything for at least a month.
A month?
Will Truman ever discover the truth?
I think I'm mixed up in something, Marlon. Something big.
Will he ever get to Fiji?
Where the hell is Fiji?
And if he does, will it be real?
Come on, guys, we gotta make this believable.
There's only one way to find out. Stay tuned.
Feels like the whole world revolves around me somehow. Everybody seems to be in on it.
He was absolutely determined to discover the truth. There's no way we could prevent him.
It's a miracle!
Truman! Truman, come back!
He's gone.
You okay?
Yes!
Wanna do it again?
No!
Truman?
Truman!
Truman! I like your pen. I was wondering that myself. Truman Burbank has called a press conference. Could be his last. It's a 20,000-foot sheer wall of ice, but that's never stopped me before. Risk? Of course I'm aware of the risks. Thank you for your concern. I think the biggest stumbling block I'll face on the journey is the loss of my thumbs to frostbite and gangrene. It shouldn't affect the mountain climb itself, but it will make signing autographs virtually impossible.